Welcome to the 5th annual New York Product Conference. We're so happy you could join us. Thank you. Whoa, thank you. Okay, all right. Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. Thank you. We're going to get started. Thank you so much. I'm Dan Storms, one of the co-founders of this conference and the CPO at CookUnity. So when we started thinking about what this conference would be like last December, I kind of envisioned something like this. But in reality, it's more like this. So like all of you have done through this crazy year, we adapted. We did this by going back to our roots. We thought about our original goals for starting this conference. We had 3 goals. First, we want to bring together the product community. Second, we want to help you master the craft by learning tangible lessons from the best and most diverse product leaders. And third, we want to make product management more inclusive and equitable. We started this mission in New York and grew our in-person conference to over 400 attendees. We continued to grow and expand our community through our New York product meetup. And we're so delighted to have a bunch of people from the product meetup and from prior attendees from the conference joining us today at this conference. And with the virtual format this year, we have people from all across the country and people from all over the world joining us. We have people from Sweden, from UK, from France, from Canada, and from Argentina. But we really wanted to evolve the solution we were offering as well. Could we make networking better in a virtual environment? Could we make it better for learning those key product skills? Could we make the swag even sweeter? Before I answer that, let me take this opportunity to quickly introduce my conference co-organizers. Amy Stewart is the Tech Events Manager at Cornell University, and she and her team have been the operating backbone for our annual conference. Amy has played a pivotal role in the career of thousands of people and helped launch countless startups. Brent Turetsky is the COO at Parsley Health. When we launched the conference 5 years ago, Brent and I were product leaders together at the Knot, and it's been so fun collaborating with him throughout these years. And we are really excited that this year we've added a new co-organizer, Shawnita Tolliver. Shawnita is a product design and strategy consultant who has worked with Teach for America, Originate, and many startups to drive innovation. She has been an active member of the community since our very early days. We really appreciate her engagement, and we're so excited to have her join us as a co-organizer. She's been a tremendous partner in developing and shaping this year's event. Welcome, Shawnita. To begin to set the stage, let me ask you 3 questions. On the right side of your screen is a polls section. Let's switch over from chat to polls. And in there, you'll see your first question. 1, how many of you have been to a New York product conference before? 2, how many of you have been to a virtual conference of any kind? And 3, how many of you have really enjoyed those virtual conference experiences? If I'm right, there's a lot of people who are really pessimistic about virtual conferences. The video cuts out, there's long pauses while people are brought onto the virtual stage. The audio is, you can't meet people organically, it's pretty horrible. So what are we going to do differently here? The main thing we've done is we've recorded the talks in advance. Over the past few weeks, we were worried about violating this conference contract, the live conference contract that we think we have with all of you. But we realized that if we eliminate all these technical issues of the talk, the experience overall is dramatically better. You may notice some editing of the talks. We wanted to make them as punchy as possible so you got the most out of them. And in classic MVP style, there's a side benefit, which is we discovered that while you're watching the talks and the speaker is there, having been recorded, you can actually engage with the speaker during their talks. So feel free to post questions in the chat and the speaker will respond to them along the way. We will facilitate a live Q&A after the end of each keynote so you can go even deeper with them. And in addition, if you haven't gotten enough, you can actually join them in a networking session after their talk is finished. So, since we think of this as a community, the networking portion is actually the most important to us. Early birds experienced this organically a few minutes ago. If you missed that, don't worry. You'll have 5 more opportunities to connect. Please don't feel like you have to join them all, but we know there are a lot of smart, experienced, and really interesting product leaders here today. and this is an incredible opportunity for you to make new connections in a low drama environment. Each networking room has a theme and is limited to 9 people, so the conversation should flow easily. If it doesn't, that's okay. They're supported by enthusiastic and trained moderators. We have 3 ground rules that we want to mention before we move on. First, please make sure your name and photo are displayed on your Hopin profile. This helps us maintain the community part of the experience that we all love. Second, when you're in the networking session, please keep your video on. This is really important for others in the room to be able to connect with you organically and with each other and be comfortable in that environment. And third, this is an inclusive environment, and we really value diverse thought. Anyone violating that spirit will be removed from the conference and not offered a refund. 2 last things before we kick off. First, look at all these amazing companies that are joining you today. Many of them bought tickets for their whole teams, 10 or more people. It's an amazing way to bring your product team together. Second, none of this could have happened without the incredible support of our sponsors. They share our mission, and we are so proud to have them on board. Thank you to Etsy, Pendo, Squarespace, Entrepreneurship at Cornell, TKWW, Balsamic, CookUnity, Parsley Health, and Amplitude. Thank you. Many of these sponsors have their own rooms, and so if you want to learn more about their products or their job opportunities, join them in the networking session. Is the perfect time to connect with them directly. So, let's get this party started.